Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we're going to be doing some legendary crafting, and what I'm going for today is a set of the new Civil Engineer armor. This character has been using energy weapons a lot recently, and they wear out rather quickly. So I'm thinking that set bonus where energy weapons degrade slower, or weapons degrade slower rather, would be rather helpful. What I have is 25 pieces. I've crafted one of each piece, or 5 of each piece. And I'll roll them all, so I'm going to do at least 25 crafts. I may do more, it depends. This character is full health, so I don't necessarily have to have a perfect first star. I don't need unyielding armor, so the first star is flexible. Mostly I'm going for usable second stars, things like poison resistance, AP refresh, fire resistance, things like that. So we'll roll all the pieces and see what we can do. So first up, we have a torso, a chest piece. So let's start with a chest piece and see what we get. Life saving, I'm not usually a fan of that. If I care about that, I'll just equip Born Survivor. AP regen, that's good. Radiation recovery, I am full health, and normally that would be helpful, but I do have what rads maxed out, so that's really not going to be all that helpful. So this is basically a 1-star. Yeah, life saving, I don't love it. Let's do a left arm next, and we've got what? Troubleshooters. I do like troubleshooters. That's a pretty helpful effect to have. Robots can be quite dangerous, can hit pretty hard. And as part of a mix and match set, I do like that a lot. Fire resistance, that is another thing that I like. And 5% chance to deal fire damage to melee attackers. I don't really care about that so much, but the first and second star, I do like that. And that tends to be what I go for when I'm doing full health armor. I tend to go for mix and match sets, you know, like Mutant Slayers, Troubleshooters, stuff like that, mix them around. That tends to be pretty good. I mean, Overeaters is obviously great, but I don't tend to keep rolling for that. Second stars are usually where what makes the decision for me, whether I want to use the armor or not. So let's go for a right arm. Whoops, almost rolled that twice. Nocturnal, fire resistance, damage taken while blocking. Okay, fire resistance, like I said, I do like that. I wouldn't mind having a couple of pieces of fire resistance. Damage taken, less damage while blocking. I don't ever block, and this is a pistol character at the moment, so that's completely useless. And Nocturnal, don't love it. I mean, yeah, extra resistance at night, but yeah, I don't care for Nocturnal. It's only helpful some of the time, so I'm not interested in that, but it's a good 1-star. Let's do a left leg now and see what we got. Regenerating, +1 strength, and +5% effectiveness of Stimpaks, Radaway, and Rad-X. Regenerating, I mean, regenerating is okay. I mean, just kind of passive healing when you're I don't think it works in combat. I think it only works out of combat. So, but still, extra healing when you're out of combat it's okay. It's not necessarily an effect that I love, but it's not one that I don't like either. However, +1 strength, not super useful. It's not a melee character. I mean, it's 5 extra carry weight, but not super helpful. And that 3rd star, I don't really care about either. So this is probably going to be a throwaway piece. And now we are rolling our first right leg, and we got Ghoul Slayers, receive less explosion damage and less fall damage. Ghoul Slayers, I mean, it's okay as part of a mix and match. However, I have Blocker and I have What Rads maxed out. Ghouls really don't do much with that combination. The melee damage isn't gonna do much. The radiation damage isn't gonna do much. So I don't really need Ghoul Slayers as a part of a mix and match set. Less explosion damage is okay, but I will tend to run a dense chest piece unless I do a jetpack. I may do a jetpack on this one, so that could be okay, but and fall damage, not really a thing for me that I really need, so this is probably a throwaway as well. But I do like that we're getting all kinds of different effects. I'm not just stuck with the same thing over and over again. That's always nice. So unless it's a good thing, right? Like if everything was Overeaters, that'd be great, but that's not what this is. Now we are going on to chest number 2. And we have Mutant Slayers, +1 strength, weapon weight reduction. Mutant Slayers, that's good. If I'm doing a mix and match set, honestly, Mutant Slayers and Troubleshooters, kind of all I need. Everything else is not that strong, so I do like Mutant Slayers. Weapon weight reduction, of course, who doesn't like that? That's a really good 3rd effect, even though I don't tend to carry a ton of weapons. Usually 2 or 3 guns is all I need. But it's good for when you're area looting at some place like Eviction Notice. That is very helpful. +1 strength, not a melee character, so I don't really need that. +5 carry weight. I'd rather have something different on that 2nd star. So this is this is a maybe. This one's a maybe. Time for another left arm, and this one is Ghoul Slayers with +1 endurance and less noise while sneaking. Okay, well, harder to detect while sneaking. I do like that effect. +1 endurance, don't really need that. I mean, that's a little bit of extra health. Helps when sprinting as well, but I usually use custom fitted on my feet, so that's not gonna do a whole lot. And again, we just don't need the extra damage reduction from ghouls, so this is not that attractive for me. Time for another right arm, and this one is weightless, which to me translates into useless. +1 endurance, don't care about that. Increase size of the sweet spot. I actually have Master Infiltrator maxed out, so that's not gonna do anything either. So this is a complete waste. Time for another left leg, and this one will be Overeaters. We like that. Cryo Resist and Radiation Recovery. I do like Overeaters, but Cryo Resist is just not really something you need in this game. If it helped you when the enemies would freeze you to slow you down, that would be fantastic, but it doesn't. So I don't really know. I don't know that this is useful at all. Maybe in PvP, if someone's using a Cryolator against you. Other than that, I don't PvP, so I don't think Cryo Resist has any use for me. And Radiation Recovery, again, I have What-Rad, so that's really not something I need. So this is probably not going to be something I'll keep. And another right leg coming up. Vanguards with fire resist and fall damage. Well, that's my second fall damage piece. I don't remember if the other one was the same piece though. But if I have 2 pieces of fall damage equipped, that means I can jump from the moon and not take any damage. So that could be good. Not super useful, but you know, it could be fun. Fire resist, I do like that. I haven't seen poison resist yet though. So that's really what I like. So fire resist is good. Vanguards, I actually don't love Vanguards, to be honest. I know it's something a lot of people like, but it's one of those things that when you start taking damage and your health starts dropping, you kind of lose the bonus. So if I was going to do a Vanguards set, the way I would probably do it would be to use 3 Vanguards pieces and 2 bolstering pieces. That way you're always getting some sort of bonus. But just like straight Vanguards, I don't really love that, so this is not going to be a top choice for me. All right, we are on to round 3, so we're going for another chest piece, and this one is Auto Stim, +1 luck, and another fall damage piece, so now I'm really doing well. So yeah, Auto Stim, don't love that. That's typically not something I want at all, really. +1 luck, that can be helpful to get extra crits, but I don't know that +1 luck is gonna, right now I'm doing every 3rd shot, so +1 more luck isn't going to be enough to move the needle. I'm not even close to 33, so that's actually not going to be helpful. And the fall damage thing, I mean, if I have it, it's fine, but I'm not going to go for a fall damage set. So yeah, I think the very first chest I rolled was better than this. So this is going back in the script machine. I guess not back in the script machine because it didn't come from there, but that's where it's going, script machine. So left arm number 3. And it is weightless, +1 strength, chance to reduce damage while sprinting. Okay, weightless. I hate weightless. I think it sucks. I mean, it's great if you're running Chameleon Mutation, but I'm not, so I don't want that. +1 strength, I'm not a melee character, I don't want that. And the 3rd star is not gonna be enough to convince me to use this piece. All right, right arm number 3, we've got life saving. I don't love life saving. +1 luck, not gonna move the needle, and a chance to deal poison damage to melee attackers. Yeah, this is a throwaway. Left leg number 3 is going to another life-saving piece, but it has poison resist. This is the first poison resistance piece I have, so I would definitely, I'd probably end up using this. If I don't roll any other poison resist pieces, I'll probably end up using this one, even though that 1st star is not my top choice. And a chance to reduce damage while not moving. I don't really care about that. I don't tend to stand still with my characters. I'm kind of always moving, so for me, this is basically a 1 star, but it's a 1 star that I really want. And we've got right leg number 3. Ghoul Slayers with cryo resist and fall damage. Don't need fall damage or cryo resist or extra reduction from ghouls, so no thank you. And now we are on to chest piece number 4. Exterminators, +1 perception, less limb damage. Exterminators, I mean, that could be okay. I mean, obviously insects aren't gonna do much, but against, say, a Mirelurk Queen, or Mirelurk King, it could be a little helpful to reduce that. So as part of a mix and match, Exterminators is actually okay with me. +1 perception, I don't really need that. I mean, 1 perception, not gonna move the needle really anyway. And plus I have, with buffs and stuff, my perception is just fine. Less limb damage, I guess less chance to be crippled, but I'm not a melee character, so limb damage isn't really much of a thing. So overall, not that excited about this piece. Left arm number 4 is Exterminators again with +1 agility and sweet spot. Well, sweet spot we've already talked about. That is completely useless to me. Exterminators is okay. +1 agility, I mean, it's okay. Adds a little bit of AP, adds a little bit of stealth. So this would be one that would be, I can't remember what the other rolls are. This would be like a maybe piece, but it would also be one of the first pieces I'd be looking to re-roll. Right arm number 4 is what? Assassins with AP regen and radiation recovery. AP regen is good, although I do use Company T and this character's herbivore, and that is enough to give me plenty of AP regen, so I don't really need it on armor. I'll obviously take it, but I don't really need it. Radiation recovery, not super useful with What-Rads already. assassins. Humans in this game are not that dangerous, and I don't do PvP, so that first star is really not all that helpful. So now we are on to left leg number 4, and it is cloaking, +1 strength. Okay, so right out of the gate, I hate cloaking. I think it's just kind of a stupid effect. I mean, once someone hits you with a melee weapon, they're right up in your face. I don't see that the turning invisible is going to be super useful. Maybe it is. It doesn't seem like it would be. But +1 strength I'm not interested in, and I'm swimming in fall damage pieces at this point, so I'm not going to be using this piece. Now we have a right leg, and it is auto stim. I do not like auto stim. +1 perception, don't really need that. And chance to reduce damage while not moving, and I'm very rarely not moving. So overall, don't want this piece. Now one thing I will say, I've only got one poison resist piece, which is kind of depressing. I would like to get, I mean, that's my preferred second stars, is a mix of poison and fire resist. So I've got quite a few fire, but only one poison, and it wasn't that great of a piece. Hopefully we can correct that this round. So this is number 5 on the chest, and it is Mutant Slayer. Oh, there we go. All right, I like this. This is okay. This is probably going to be keeper right here. Mutant Slayers, love Mutant Slayers. Very helpful. Super mutants are all over the place, and they tend to be some of the tougher enemies. Poison resist, awesome. Breathe underwater, for the most part, it's a useless effect in this game. Maybe with the map expansion, they'll add underwater levels at some point, but underwater breathing isn't good. But the first 2 stars are good enough that I'll probably use this piece, actually. All right, we've got a left arm, number 5. It is Zealots with +1 agility and junk weight item reduction. Okay, so Zealots is an okay effect. Scorch don't tend to be super strong, but they're very plentiful. So this is gonna help you against a lot of enemies. So it's okay. I mean, it's definitely usable. +1 agility, a little bit of extra AP, a little bit of extra stealth. Junk weight with a survival tent, don't really need that. If I get the junk gets heavy, I could just get rid of it right on the spot. So that 3rd star is not super useful, and yeah, overall this is kind of so-so. I don't remember what the other roles are, so I'm not sure if I'll be using this or not. Right arm number 5 coming up. Regenerating with +1 intelligence and chance to reduce damage while sprinting. Regenerating, I mean, it's okay, but I could take it or leave it. +1 intelligence, I don't really care about leveling at this point, so that's not really that helpful to me. And damage reduction while sprinting, that's okay. This character's pretty good though, so I don't tend to run away from stuff, so that's not gonna be, yeah, none of these stars are gonna be all that helpful. And we have left leg number 5, and it is Ghoul Slayers with radiation resist and stim pack effectiveness. Okay, maxed out what rads, an extra 25 radiation resist I'm not gonna notice. Ghouls, don't really need, we've already talked about ghouls, so yeah, I don't really need that 1st star, and that 3rd star I don't think is all that useful, so I don't love this piece. And a right leg, the right leg number 5, and this is weightless, +1 agility, and another fall damage thing. Well, I don't like weightless. To me, that's like having no 1st star, so I'm pretty much never gonna go with weightless unless the 2nd and 3rd stars are perfect, which they are not. So after going through all of the pieces, I think I have a set that's good enough that'll do me for now, so something I can test with. I still have to mod it out. So this is where I landed. So the right leg is Vanguard, fire resist, and less fall damage. I mainly chose this for the fire resist. This was kind of the best piece that I had. The legs were where I had like the least amount of choice. The right arm, I have Assassins with AP regen and radiation recovery. I don't care about that. I kind of chose this for the AP regen for the most part. This wasn't, this is another piece that I'll consider replacing at some point. In fact, most of these would be. For the left leg, we have life saving with poison resist. I chose this for the poison resist. I'm not a fan of life saving, but I wanted the poison resist and I only had one other piece. So that's why I'm using this one. And the left arm, I actually really like this one. It's troubleshooters with fire resist, so good first 2 stars that I like. So that's good as part of my mix and match set. And we have the torso, the Mutant Slayers with poison resistance and underwater breathing. 3rd star, not all that helpful, but that first 2 stars, that's good for mix and match. And I have 2 poison resist pieces and 2 fire resist pieces. So I've got some pretty good environmental resistance there. Or I guess that would be more like elemental resistance. But either way, I'm happy with that. So all I need to do now is get this modded up and take it for a test. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.